Hello, good evening, and how are you? Let's do a little roll call. Oh, we've got a small group this evening. That's all right. We will be cozy. Hello, Misty. Hello, Outlaw Trucker. How you doing, Justice Seeker? Betty Joe is in the house. Hello, Crazy Girl. Good to see you. Good to see you. S Buttercup. Hey, hey. Angie Dare. Howdy doody. Howdy doody. Who says that? Me, apparently. Hi, Sandy. Hello, Mary Jane Valentine. Justice Seeker. How you doing? Annette, good to see you. Amy, good to see you. Kimmy Jean, hello. Oh, Amy, you're a newbie. Okay, great. Bossy Pants. I'm always so excited to see you. You hardly ever even talk to me, Bossy Pants, but I just love your name. You know I do. It's a problem that I have. Hey, Miranda, how you doing? Okay, so let me make sure I said hello to everyone who's. Well, we have another Annette in the house. Okay, perfect, perfect. I'm gonna have to call you Annette and Annette L. You know how they do in class. You have to go by the last initial if there's two of you. I don't want to get you confused. Tabitha, how you doing? Good to see you. Heather, hello. Okay, everyone's saying hello, hello, hello. All right, so I don't know. Hi, Norma. I don't know if y'all were just in Web Sleuths live. Hi, Lori. Or if you, how much of you watched or whatever. I'm stumbling over my words because I'm just like, what just happened? And I think I find this to be very significant. And it really sort of, we'll talk about the implications of it. And you tell me what you think. So Chris McDonough just let a new little cat out of the bag, spilled some beans, if you will. And I don't know, but I was in Cher. Oh, you were in Cher's chat. How did that go, Outlaw? Okay, sorry. So he just said, brace yourselves in case you haven't heard this. Don't put it in the chat. Don't spoil it. Let me say it. He just said that the day, and he got this information from someone who was there, okay, and heard it with their ears. And I trust Chris McDonough. I just do. Hi, I'll be damned. How you doing? Heard that one of the boys, when asked, what were y'all doing, said they were playing hide and go seek. Okay. That has never been spoken of that I am aware of. I have always heard, Summer went in, went straight downstairs pretty much because the boys were playing or watching TV, YouTube, or whatever they were doing with the TV. But apparently one of the boys has said we were playing hide and seek. Okay. Don has never said this. Candace has never said this that I have heard. How does it change things? I'm not real sure, other than it's another change in the story. Again, I trust Chris McDonough. I don't see any reason that he would fabricate this. And I don't see any reason that he would release this information if he questioned whoever told him that. Excuse me. Bossy Pants had a question. Oh, in the house, or that was not specified, so I'm not going to speak to that. I just know that one of the boys said they were playing hide and seek that day. I have linked that live stream, 2 web sleuths in the description. So if you want to go watch that, excuse me, I don't know why I'm choking. I'm choking on the truth. No, just kidding. Oh my gosh. It's a smoke screen on what is leaking to throw info off. I don't know. For me, it sort of leads me back to the whole possibility of an accident happening. I really have only entertained the stranger abduction theory for about 2.8 seconds, if that. Just because, I mean, y'all know all the reasons, the unlikelihood of it. It's just like maybe 1 in a million chance or something like that because of the terrain, just because of general statistics, period. I mean, it does happen. It is possible, but it's very, very, very unlikely, and even less likely because of where they live. So anyway, the child said this, about that day. And yeah, so I don't know. What do y'all think about that? Take a drink, Libby. Okay. Let me drink some water. Ooh, Angie. So that means Summer did return home. Very well could. But here's what Chris said. And he said this numerous times, that he doesn't believe anything happened. He the way that he worded it, gosh, if I can remember, he just keeps saying, I'm still on that property. So in other words, I'm thinking that he thinks whatever happened there. And I'm reading into this, but it sounds like he does not believe that she is still with us in this realm. So yeah, it does throw you for a loop, especially when there's all this, excuse me, all of this discussion around the land and ancestry and the messy family ties and whatnot. Not saying that that's not relevant. I have no idea, but there's so much information to piece together. But when I hear that a child said something, when the child was asked, in a way that was, now I'm just kind of setting this up in my brain. So let me not do that because I'm making assumptions here in my mind. So go and listen to what Chris said exactly, because I don't want to say, oh yeah, they were standing right outside and it was, the day that the dogs were searching, or I don't know what day it was. What I know is that Chris said that a guy who was there asked the kid, one of the boys, he didn't specify which one, what they were doing that day. And he said they were playing hide and seek. Totally different than, all of the boys being upstairs and watching TV and Summer just being downstairs playing with their toys. Why the discrepancy? I don't know. But it's something to take note of. Irene. So here's the deal, though. If it depends on when the child said this and who the child said this to, And were Candace and Don standing right there? Somehow I doubt it. I hypothesize that this conversation occurred. And again, this part is me. I wasn't there. I'm speculating. Okay. I'm just throwing that out there. I could see where this conversation could have happened like that night when they're asking everyone questions. And one of the boys is asked, what were y'all doing? Playing hide and seek. Now, in that case, the boys maybe hadn't been quote unquote coached all the way yet, or I don't know. But it's not of my opinion that the little boy would lie to say that, because of the fact that if they were lying, when whichever boy said we were playing hide and seek, if that were a lie, wouldn't then that be what Don and Candace would be saying? Why would a kid lie about that? Do you see what I'm saying? If they were lying, they were coached by their parents to lie. Otherwise, why would they lie? I don't think it was recent, though. But that's just my opinion. Because Chris has known this for a while. Oh, there's that dang Ferris wheel video again. Okay, I missed saying hello to some people. Yes, John, that's what I'm saying. I now too am leaning more toward the accident. Gosh, it's just blowing my flipping mind. Because again, whenever I start to entertain the accident theory, I think, why? If your child, if some accident happened and there was, a true accident, what a parent does is seeks medical attention for their child. Think about the reasons that one wouldn't do that. Well, one might not do that if they feel responsible for the accident, or if they're covering for someone else who is responsible for the accident. Or the child was hurt and it wasn't an accident. So there's okay, who did the little boy say it to? Chris did not give that information. He just said it was a person that was at the home. And he just said this on Web Sleuths, and it is of my opinion that he is very, very particular and careful is the word I'm looking for, actually. Careful about the information that he releases and when he releases it. And he just stated that tonight. So, well, Irene, you're entitled to your own opinion, of course. I don't think that little kids just lie for no reason. But that's just my opinion. Mainly because I believe there's a reason and a function behind every single behavior that anyone does. Whether it makes sense to someone else or not is another story. All right, I missed some people. Hi, Zona. How are you? What do you think about this? I need your brain. And I don't know where that baby is, but I would love to know. I need to know. We all need to know. Okay, Justice Seeker, thank you for being the voice of reason here, because Chris knew already with the police report. I guarantee Chris has it. Okay. This is like a bad episode of Web of Lies. What a tangled web they have spun. Absolutely. I know. And here we are getting all caught up in the web. Was Summer playing with them? Do we know if they were outside or inside the house? Well, Bossy Pants, I am 99% sure that the point of that question was, what were y'all doing? Not just like, what were you doing separately? I think the point was, what were you and Summer doing? Like, what were all the kids doing? And the answer was playing hide and seek. But no, nothing was specified about inside or outside. Chris asked Candace during the interview at the lake if Summer would play hide and seek with her brothers. She said no. Mm-hmm. First of all, I can't find a child who doesn't play hide and seek. I'm sure there are some that exist, but I don't know any. Hide and seek says a game was being played and something happened that shouldn't have happened. It also means they were not being supervised by anyone. Quite possibly. Yeah. I want to believe differently, but my instincts say trafficking, and I don't think she's still here. I was leaning toward trafficking too, but then a lot of people, it's very possible. Again, knowing now what we do about Eastern Tennessee and just statistically with trafficking, it's a huge problem there. So especially familial trafficking. And we know that Don is, a perv. So, but people have said, and like, why, with Don supposedly being so, the way he talks about Summer is like she was his little girlfriend or whatever. It's so repulsive. But would he share her? I guess is the way to put it. I just can't even go there. I'm not going to even know. But yes, Bossy Pants. So that could be a reason with the accident theory that they would not call law enforcement. But then we have to think that Don is not the only one who knows about that. Then it would have to be that Candace is involved too, which is within the realm of possibility also. Did you see the video of her on the swing? There's a spot that does look like there's a flash that comes from behind the trees. I do think someone was watching her. That's a possibility, I suppose. So let's talk about that. Let's say that some creepster, is watching Summer. Would it make sense for that person to snatch her up on a day that it looks as though Don is home because his truck is there? The red Subaru is not there. So someone watching them, you would think, being that Don never took the Subaru and all of a sudden did that day, if someone had been watching, they would see that truck is there, I think, and think that Don was home. Why would they take that risk when Don is home? It just doesn't seem probable to me. It's possible, again, but it seems very unlikely. What makes you think that, even Jose, the infamous Jose that we don't know where he is, we haven't seen or heard from him since October, you think is involved? Interesting. I know people are sketchy with him, but really all we have to go by to think that he might have any involvement is that he was there that night of October 14th, right? When that whole thing went down. And then we know that he's a creepster because of what True has said. But let's keep in mind that True is not a 5-year-old girl. True, although she is still the age of a child, she looks like a young woman. Do you see what I'm saying? So it would be a different, I'm not saying it's okay. This is so uncomfortable to even talk about, but a grown man saying he has a crush on a teenage girl who is developed like a woman is quite different than being attracted to a 5-year-old girl. Do you see what I'm saying there? Ew. It's all repulsive and just despicable. Oh no, I don't think True is involved at all, but I also don't think that Hunter is, and I will be literally heartbroken if it turns out that he is. I also don't think that Allie is, and I can't even, I know a lot of people don't think highly of Allie, and I'm not saying that I think highly of her either, but I just don't think she's involved. I just don't. No rhyme or reason. I just don't. Okay. But I would say, well, I would ask you, what reason do you think that she would be involved? Because I feel like maybe it's just a feeling because you don't like her and she seems like she's lying, which is totally, we can't just be throwing allegations around there like that, in my opinion. Hi, Steffi. Hey, I don't know if you ever saw my thank you in any of the chats, but I've seen you in some chats and I said, thank you for the coffees so much. That was so nice of you. I still can't get past CPS was coming the next day. Okay. So I just don't know that has been 100% verified. I know that CPS has been involved somewhat. And let's just say, for argument's sake, that they were going to be coming that day, okay? CPS does not say to you, hey, on June 15th, we're going to come take your kids. Okay? They say, okay, we have an appointment to come and meet with you. And, maybe they had a deadline where they were supposed to make some changes within the house or whatever they were supposed to be doing. Well, wouldn't they just do that then rather than get rid of Summer? So help me with your thought process on that. I wonder if we are going to learn of trafficking ring happening there through this. Oh yeah, there have been trafficking rings busted recently there. But Summer wasn't found. Doesn't mean they've gotten them all. Another thing that Chris brought up tonight is that the TBI has this human trafficking. Here, let me see what it's called. I was going to share this with you all before. It's oh, now I have to go all the way back up to the top, and I was on a page that I wanted to see, but I want to see okay, it's the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation, the Geography of Trafficking in Tennessee 2013. Okay, so they completed this study in 2013, and there's a couple of reports. There's like the report, and then there's kind of an explanation or like an add-on to the report, as lack of a better way to say it. But Chris's point was that, okay, this is still a problem. It's a bigger problem now, even than it was in 2013, but they're still going off of their 2013 report. You see what I'm saying? And it's outdated at this point. What? T. Riley. I put the wrong thing up there. Can't trust anything Allie has said because she was partying at the Wells Mansion this whole weekend. How you know that? Do you have a tracking device on Allie? Okay, but back to what Misty said too. Make no mistake, everyone in their circle knows where Summer is and what has happened to her. I'm not too sure about that, but we'll see. We shall see. Okay, what did they say over there? What are you talking about, Kelly? If they was already there, they say you have a week to clean up. Yep. And there is a date that they say they will be back. So Candace and Dawn know. Yep. Yeah, they would know when they were coming back, but it wouldn't be a situation of, we're coming to take your kids that day. They don't do that. If they're going to take your kids, they either show up unannounced, or if they show up and it's an announced visit, if everything is all jacked up and crazy, then yeah, they will take your kids. But there's no like, yeah, on this day we're going to take your kids, so get them all packed up. No, that's not how that goes. I think Allie Hunter and Sherry all know what happened. What makes you think that? Yes, Miranda, that is what Candace or someone has said. Tonight we're talking about new information that Chris McDonough shared earlier, that when Summer was at home, okay, everyone was at home, and before she went missing, they were playing hide and seek. And that has never been stated before. So it just is interesting that we've never heard Dawn say that. We've never heard Candace say that. So, now we have this statement from one of the boys. And one would think that Candace or Dawn would just say, yeah, they were playing hide and seek. Like, why even leave that out? So, and I don't know I'm not going to sit here and say that I know what it means, A plus B equals C squared or some shit like that. I'm just telling you what just came out, and it's different than anything that we've heard before. So I just don't know. It just, every day there's some conflict of information, some, what's that word? I think I have the vaccine brain. I don't know if that's a thing or not, but ever since I got my second shot, I'm not trying to start a conspiracy here, okay? Ever since I got the second shot, I have like foggy brain and I can't think of words. And it's really frustrating because it's driving me bananagrams. I'm not liking Chris M talking about things that are part of the investigation. If that is true, he has overstepped his bounds, in my opinion. Well, and again, you're entitled to your opinion. I think we've probably all overstepped our boundaries at this point, wouldn't you say? To some degree, people are acting real shady all over the place. I'm not going to get any further detail about that, but just lots of people are overstepping. And I see so many people going, well, I guess you call them trolls, right? Because they'll go into these streams and then they'll say, why are you talking about X, Y, and Z? Whatever it is. And I'm like, well, and not even just me, many other creators, I see this in their chats too. And it's like, if they're not talking about what that person thinks they should be talking about at that moment, then they're doing it wrong. And there's something wrong with them. And it's all like they're like judgy McJudgertons. And I'm like, why don't you make your own channel and talk about what you want all day? And then you'll be happy. Okay, just do that. You don't need to go around and tell other people what they should be doing. Anyway, that's my little my little rant of the night. Who? Allie? I don't know. You didn't tell me how you know that. I asked you, do you have a tracker on Allie? How do you know Allie was over there? Hi, Andrea. How are you doing? Yes, Kelly, I remember the hide and seek been brought up before, but I remember Don saying they were not playing. Interesting. And it's maddening, isn't it? When you can't, well, and maybe you can remember where you heard it from, but sometimes I'm like, wait a minute. I know I heard that somewhere. And then I'm like, where did I hear it? Is that verified? What is it? So, but if you remember where you heard that, I'd love to know. Yes, Betty Jo, 100%, of course. Okay, we had never heard S wasn't feeling well either until this week. It's another deflection. Okay, but Pippi, think about the sources here. The source of saying that she wasn't feeling well, my understanding, is a fictitious or at least not verified source. And the person that Chris heard from is a verified source. And Chris is credible, in my opinion. So to me, those are two very different situations. He was on there tonight, drunk and high, almost nude. What? Lovin', what? Who, Donald? Johnny? Ew. Yeah, and I can't, I used to take one for the team, y'all, and share with you whatever Don was talking about in, on other channels, but I can't with Benny. I just can't do it. Did anyone hear what Chris said? Yes, Steffi, I did. I've said it 75 times now. Were you here? Are you sleeping in class? Carlos, go away. Okay, Carlos is gone. I hate to say, but them covering for one of the boys accidentally hurting her makes sense. That's a possibility. I really, 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 really hate to. I don't want to think of any of it, but I definitely don't want to think of a child being responsible for anything. And it's really not we're not going to solve this, okay? We're not going to solve this. We're going to talk about it. We're going to, give our theories. We're going to speculate, frankly. We're going to debunk. We are going to think about, dream about, where is Summer? And hopefully we're going to pray, because I do believe that prayer works, but that's just me. No, I don't like Benny either. Oh, another channel. Did you see? How do you know that the other channel is a source that can be trusted, or that whoever they found out is a trusted source. And I am asking that sincerely, not to be sassy McGee. I'm really, really genuinely asking. I know, me too, Annette. Me too. And I certainly have never watched Benny. I tried to watch Benny and I just was like, ooh, nope. I can't. I can't. I don't know. I just can't. You know what, Irene? I tend to kind of agree with that. But then again, think about this. How many times did Don's dad cover for him? Don could do no wrong. Don got away with everything because of his dad. So maybe Don would do that for one of his boys. I don't know. Yeah, I agree. Until it's announced, we're never going to know facts. Yeah, pretty much. It's depressing. But we want to know. It brings us comfort to talk about. This is what I'm saying, Annette L. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I can't ever say. I mean, all of their just repulsive behavior of the parents. How can anyone at this point protect them, make excuses for their behavior? I just don't see it. I don't get it at all. And I don't think that it's because I'm not a person who lives in the mountains, because I know of people who live in the mountains who also think that the way that they're acting is insane. And not necessarily, listen, and I've said this a million times and I'll say it 1,000,001 now. Living in the mountains, having, a small home and playing in the dirt and fishing and, all that outdoorsy stuff, no problem. I get it. That's fine. Okay. But when you throw in neglect, emotional abuse, physical abuse, possibly SA, that's when it becomes problematic. And that's when I don't care about their feelings when we talk about how nasty their dwelling is. Look at those faces of those kids. There's a lot of unhappy pictures, and I know that they do have smiley pictures. That's one of my favorites right there, actually, of Summer. She's just looking like she really adores that lady. Because I'll tell you, and if any of you were here the other night when my husband spoke, he was horribly abused. He was abused daily. And for, the better part of his childhood, beginning when he was about 7, I believe. He said that things were pretty decent up until about age 7. And that's when his parents started using crack. And that's when everything fell apart. And that's when everything just fell apart. There wasn't adequate food. His basic needs were not met. How can a parent who is addicted to crack or meth or heroin or whatever, addicted, okay? how can they take adequate care of their children? They can't. They don't. So let me get back to some of your chit chats. I don't think it at all until I didn't think it at all until I thought about how Chris is bringing up hide and seek, which brings the boys away from in front of that computer. I know. I believe Summer was sick and fell asleep. Candace unstrapped her seatbelt. She went and fell downstairs. Oh my goodness. I know they're young kids, but they need to come out and ask them what happened to their sister. Oh, yeah, I'm sure they have been talking to them. Yeah, I'm sure. And then there's all these rumors about, they had to move the boys several times to different houses. Like, oh my gosh, can people just tell the truth? Do people have to make shit up? It's cray cray. I know her hands are really dirty a lot of times. I know. It makes me sad. And her face is dirty like all the time. I'm going to tell you, I mean, some kids have a dirty face, and it doesn't mean you're a terrible parent if your child's face is dirty sometimes, okay? It's not that alone. It's all of everything else put together. It's all of it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. I'm not going to go on and on about it. They are both on crack according to family and in front of kids too. Yeah. Yep, crack and meth and weed and whiskey. All the really bad stuff. Although I don't think weed is really bad, just putting that out there. My mother was an addict alcoholic. I was removed 5 times and given back until she almost succeeded in trying to. Oh my gosh. God bless you. Oh my gosh. And see, my husband, and there were 3 of them. He's got 2 brothers. He's right in the middle. He's the middle son. And they were never removed. They were never removed from that house. And he is very, very bitter about that. He feels like, no one, the system, society failed them. Not only did their parents, obviously, but their teachers, social workers, church members, because he's like, they knew about it. And we've talked about it a lot of different times, my husband and I, but one thing that I bring up that I think is possibly the case is that, it very well could be that someone reported it at some point, but they moved around all the time. They were living in a van a lot of time, living in different motels. So it's possible that they just weren't tracked down and they didn't try very hard to track them down. But I just hate to think that not a single person cared enough to make that report for these boys, my husband and his brothers. I mean, we're talking, he slept outside. They lived in a bread truck for a while. He was beaten so badly once that he didn't go to school for 2 weeks. When he got back, he just had to say he was sick, and that was that. Hold on. My dog is yapping. Hold on. Okay, what are you talking about here? What's opiates, not crack? Don has spoken of, well, yeah, we have heard that crack and meth and shoot, I think someone mentioned heroin too at some point in Don's past. Um, Don hasn't met a drug that he doesn't enjoy, apparently. What did somebody say about Candace is way too lazy to be acting on crack? Right. I've been saying that Robin at the church, the friends of the parents, all caseworkers did nothing. Yeah. Um, and I thought about that too at the beginning of this. And I was under the impression that they didn't know them for very long, but then I saw that Robin has known them at least since 2019 because she's in a picture with the kids in 2019. So then I'm just like, okay. And maybe she did report them at some point. I don't know. Maybe they hid it really well somehow when they were outside of that house. I don't know. But ultimately, it's the parents who failed their own children. What? When did Don film himself on the toilet? Gross. Don and Benny are best buds now. Oh, that's very appropriate. Okay, I don't even know what video is playing back there. Hi, Jules. Sorry if I forgot to say hi to anyone. Hey, Mayito, how are you doing? Full tilt boogie. Candace looking dead over on Benny. Oh, Candace is on there too? OMG, I might have to take a peek. I might have to take a peek because I haven't seen Candy Dandy for a while. Candace Dandis. Candace couldn't move in the video. What? He's still calling his stepsisters? Oh my gosh. What? He was shirtless inside with sunglasses on, and Candace was looking dead in a chair. Oh my gosh. I have seen people get on crack, opiates, meth, whatever their choice of drug be, and they will steal and sell. Absolutely. Yep. That's right. That's right. It's awful. Awful, awful, awful. Hi, Francis. How are you? Candace has probably never moved. Oh, probably moved over to. Hey, y'all, I saw something super. This is off the subject, kind of, but just that fentanyl mention just reminded me that they just had this news report in Florida that they're making these counterfeit, they call them counterfeit pills and selling them in schools, apparently, people. That are laced with fentanyl, amongst other horrible, horrible things. And kids think that they know they're buying drugs, but like they think they're buying like a Xanax or something, but it's all this crazy shit in there. I don't know. Um, oh, I'm so sorry, Queen of Hearts. Oh my goodness, that just happened in May. I am so sorry. Was it a long, did he have a long period of addiction? That is very, very sad. Hi. Sir is in the house. Sir is my husband. All right. What screenshots? What you talking about? Oh, you don't want to see Don shirtless. Haven't you seen enough of that? Ugh. Blah, 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 blah. Oh, no, Kelly, don't. No, no, no. Say it isn't so. I can't. On another note, completely off subject, but I just remembered because I think I'm going to go have another one. I made delicious brownies from a box. That's right. I use it. I made it from a box. Who cares? I made some really good brownies this evening. And my mom was happy because she had made dinner, and then I went in to check on her, and she's like, "Do I smell brownies out there?" And I was like, "No." Because I wasn't making brownies, and then I thought, you know what? I'm going to make my mom some brownies. And so I did. And then we were like, oh my gosh, warm brownies, and it was amazing. And yeah. Yeah, I put frosting on them. I put whipped cream. I said, forget it. Let's just do this. Let's just do this. Yeah, so the Subaru, I am hearing bits and pieces about that, which is very sketchy and suspect. Because how did he come up with that money? If you have money like that to just outright pay for a car, a brand new car, I'm not sure why you didn't spend that money on fixing up your trashy house or getting your wife some damn teeth. How about that? Do you think Candace would have rather had some teeth instead of that car? I don't know. I would. Broke my heart. He had been released from jail, and 4 days later, oh no! Oh, honey. I'm so sorry. 4 days out. See, they didn't help him. I'm sorry if that sounds like I'm an enabler or something. I don't know. That just breaks my heart. It really, really does. Because jail, putting people in jail for having an addiction just doesn't help, in my opinion. There's the proof right there. Right. Or getting Summer's teeth fixed. How about that? Or the other kids. How about that? Yeah, Love Being Grams. That turned out to be the lie detector test. Just kidding. There was no lie detector test on that. But people have done the research and there's no lien on that. So he apparently owns it outright. I don't know what that $600, although I will say, I heard him say $600 and he kind of mumbled and then said insurance. Whose freaking insurance is $600 a month? I would like to know. Maybe if you have like 7 accidents and a DWI on your record. So I don't know what that was about. That is straight up dope dealing. But yeah, so someone said if you have a DUI, but the thing is, he doesn't have anything on his record like that in Tennessee. Wonder if he has something like that in another state. No, because we looked all that up. Look into We Can Bring You Hope. No, I've already looked into that. They're super suspect. Is there something new about them? Oh, interesting. I don't know. I mean, when I think about everything that we know and everything that we suspect, once again, I'm like, how are these people still walking around free? Okay. I'm just saying. And then you have, I just hear in other states and other cases, and it doesn't take this long. And granted, we don't know all of the information. It hasn't been put out there. So maybe anyway, I'm just comparing things that shouldn't probably be compared. So let me stop doing that. It is quite late, and I feel that I need to have another brownie. And no, I'm not going to have another brownie. I'll wait till tomorrow. But I think I need to shuffle off to Sleepyland now. So please keep Summer Moon Utah Wells in your prayers, as well as her brothers, as well as all of the other missing children. Too many missing children. Please, please, please keep praying that they will be found safe. Please pray that anyone who has been responsible for these children disappearing, that they are brought to repentance and that they tell the truth about where these children are, so that we and their families can know where they are. And that, yeah. So bless you all, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.